I love board games. I play a lot of board games, and I even have like a collection of 30. Every now and then I'll go to my friend's house his family is obsessed with board games. They even have 200 plus board games. Every time I go over, I make it a tradition to try a new game because there's so many, and honestly, he really likes it whenever he gets to teach me a new game, and I really like being taught a new game. There's so many cool games that I learned because of going to his house. It's really cool, and board games are a really amazing way of getting to interact with your friends. You all get to sit down and play a game, but interact with each other. Unlike video games where you're mainly focusing on a screen and pressing a lot of buttons, a board game has a lot of player interaction and a lot of debate. And that's why I like games like tabletop RPGs and card games. I do love video games, don't get me wrong, but video games I feel are more of a single player or a single person gaming experience for me. I don't really like multiplayers that much. I mean, I love multiplayers, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to either multiplayer or single player, I will usually opt for sitting in my house playing single player on my little monitor. Little monitor, yes, that is a little monitor. But one of my favorite board games is actually Battle Lore, made by Fantasy Flight, which is actually a very red flaggish name when you talk about board games. Fantasy Flight is kind of like the EA of board games, where it's not pay to win per se. It's more they're good, but sometimes they let their reputation precede them, and it leads to some interesting situations. But on the other side of the spectrum, I love card games, and one of my favorite card games is Magic the Gathering. That I shouldn't have to explain that one to you. It's Magic. The topic of this video, though, is actually a board game that kind of combines the best of both of those and mixes them perfectly. Well, I say board game, but it's really two of them, and I'm only talking about one today because the other hasn't come in yet, and I kind of want to make them separate videos just because one is really more in depth than the other. The one I'm going to be talking about in this video, though, is Mage Wars Academy. There is also Mage Wars Arena, and that's the other one I'm talking about. Academy is like the Duel Masters to Magic. Well, Mage Wars Academy to Mage Wars Arena is like Duel Masters to Magic. They're the same, but different. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and open this up and see what's in the box. As you can see, this entire thing is actually brand new. There is still plastic wrap on it. That's actually showing how new this is, because I've been really itching all day to open this up, but I decided to stream this recording. So, god dang it. There, that works. And there we go. The plastic is off. And time for the unboxing. Taking off the lid, you are immediately greeted by the rulebook and codex. And as you can see, it is a pretty hefty rulebook. Ooh, here comes the fun part. Popping out all of this stuff. That's gonna be fun. And then, of course, you get the actual cards, which, by the way, I love the back of these cards. These cards look amazing. There's a lot on the cards. There is a lot. It looks like a lot. But don't worry. Everything actually makes sense in what it looks like and how it plays. Then, of course, you have the character cards. More character cards. And this is where the game changes so much. This is what's called the spell book. Yes, it is just a portfolio for cards. That's because in this game, you will put your deck in here, and instead of drawing at the beginning of each turn, you will actually look through your spell book to choose a single spell or card to then play. That changes everything. Your entire deck is at the palm of your hand and available to you throughout the entire game. This just looks awesome. And honestly, it really encapsulates the idea of, hey, this game, you're a mage. You have a spell book that you're casting your spells from. That is just awesome. I am so excited to play this. Then, of course, you have the little things that will make the actual score keeps. And then the dice. There are misses, there are regular hits, and then there are critical hits. And what fell down was actually this. This is the ability die. You will roll this every time you need to roll for an ability. So for example, on this guy, he does 2 damage dice, and then on a d12, if he rolls a 7 or more, the opponent gets weakened. And right off the bat, just the feeling of the cards, they feel a little flimsy, but they do feel nice and glossy, and I like that. Also, the portfolios themselves actually have enough space for not only the cards, but the card sleeves themselves. So, we have the wizard and his ability card. That actually is... So, the good thing about all of this is that Mage Wars Academy is actually compatible with Mage Wars Arena, the bigger version I was telling you about. All of these cards can be used in there, but you have to realize that because they say Academy down there, they cannot... Arena cards cannot be used in Academy. Only Academy cards can be used for this format. In this version, you'll just have them there and then have that as a reference on the side. And that'll just tell you how many points you have to build your deck, the life, armor, how much mana you get each turn, and how much mana you start with. Then any abilities and whatnot. Then of course the different cards and whatnot. This one is pretty much preset decks. So you have the Wizard deck, and then you have the Beastmaster deck. And Beastmaster has all of these. So channeling is the same. Starting mana is less. However, he has a little bit more life, I think, right? Yeah, just 1 more life. And then he has a few more abilities. And then his starting deck. However, then you have all of these cards to actually customize those decks. So unlike most card games, this is not a collectible card game. This is not a trading card game. It's more like a living card game, kind of like Netrunner and other games like that. And so these are all the cards that you get to choose to modify with. And actually, on here, it will even say, trained in nature magic, fire spells cost triple spell points. So if you want to add a fire spell to your Beastmaster deck, they cost 3 times as much to actually put in there. And that is what I really like. For wizards, I'm pretty sure it's like light magic, right? Oh no, trained in arcane and air. He has no minus. He's just trained. All right, cool. And that is what this one comes with. Of course, there's also actually 2 different promotional cards that I got for the first print run. This one is the Gorgon Spear Thrower and then Shock. All right, and that is all for this set. As you can see, I do have the first print promo card. They are Gorgon Spear Thrower and Shock. Pretty good cards. And I actually can't wait to test this game out with my friends. It's going to be really fun, and I'm going to very much enjoy it. Hopefully, I get that other one, Mage Wars Arena, sometime soon so I can actually make a video for it and post that alongside this. Maybe I might even actually add it to this video. I don't know. If not, I will see you guys in the next one. Jay Hikari, logging out.